how do you justify it, or try and justify it but then it goes back to Rome.
When in Rome.
Do the Romans do.
If we look at just their statues, then we know that they've always been interested in kids.
Based on the Greeks and the Romans and others, pedestry back then was a lifestyle. I don't think that ever went away. I think that when the Romans conquered, when the Romans went wherever they went and conquered, that lifestyle spread everywhere. I feel like once the people accepted the LGBTQ, whether they knew it or not, they signed off on making pedestry a thing. It's coming. And in certain parts, it's already there. They've already thought of different words to legitimize his place openly in society and stuff. So it's been here. It's just, what do you see it as? It's like, to me personally, I'm not under any illusion of this thing being out there. As I said, I don't think that the people understand that when you said that you was okay with the LGBTQ, you okayed many things.
So, with that said, would you say it's the terminology, the label, the people, what? When you say that, obviously they've given it the okay, are you talking about now that they've given it a name, a package, that it's allowing everything else to kind of slip?
You got to think about it, right? So it started off with the LGBT community, right?
Well, it's just LGB before, isn't it? To start off with, it was just lesbian, gay, and bi.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I don't know exactly what it was.
Yeah, it's just LGBT.
But it
and then
started off as something, right? And
Yeah.
then something else got added.
Yeah.
And then something else got added. Now we've got 100 different sexual preferences. That's my point.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So it's just whatever it is now, we just add it on.
But there's also loads of different, like I looked at a form the other day and I saw man, woman, not identified,
No, but
agender.
what's that? No.
Don't know. I don't know what it is. Agender. And there was like 8.
I know you've got non-binary.
Non-binary, man, woman, non-binary,
man, woman,
transgender,
trans.
agender, something else. There's like 8 different genders. I was like,
and then it probably says other, please specify.
yeah, and I'm like, okay, this is the risk in this. So obviously, number one, they're teaching you sex education from young. So that pedestry thing, they're not teaching you, as we were saying before, about they're not teaching you about how to relate to a man or woman and all this stuff, but they are teaching you to have sex, which with a banana and putting a condom. That's sex education, seriously. Then you go through school, kind of thinking like you've already been taught sex education. Now you're being taught about if you don't identify as a whatever. Problem with that. Obviously, people call whatever you want to call. All right, cool. The problem with that for the system will be when someone says, like an offer might, like for instance, you've got a police officer. Hey, we've got an IC3 male, and then you get to court, right?
What does that even mean?
It's not.
Yeah.
We've had that.
And then you get to court, and they say, yeah, he was an IC3 male. What is a male? I'm not a male. I'm an agender. You said it was a male agender. Court case gone.
Well,
because
we've got that. Wasn't that
so
a few months ago?
it's over.
A few months ago,
because you haven't identified me properly. I don't. That's no. I'm not man. I'm a
the one
woman.
that was being put in jail.
Sorry. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's like, these are the things where it starts to now trip up the system. It starts to trip people up, and also like kids would like. To me, why are you promoting the idea of not being aligned to your natural way of being here? Like you was created a man and you or a woman. Why are we promoting the idea of like, okay, so you need to be away from this? It's like
It's like they're pushing
you know
them
what I'm saying?
away
It's
from
pushing
what they
it.
are.
It's like, okay, cool. If you feel like you've always been a woman or a man or vice versa, when you get to the age of understanding, because you don't understand, like even me now, I'm like, yo, half this thing I don't even understand. So how am I going to make a decision about what gender I am?
Early on,
And I haven't even truly understood the mechanism of being a man. At least go through that process, or being a woman, before you say, I don't feel like a woman. Or
and they're allowing changes, even with medication. They're allowing it from what?
We're going to start trying to make ourselves
16.
look like sheeps and
No,
lions and all these things
they've
now.
started where
Like,
there's certain places where children don't. I think it's in America where once they reach 16, don't quote me, that they can actually go to certain places without parents' consent.
And it's crazy because to me, I can respect your whatever, but it don't mean I have to accept it like as my way of living. Like, and the thing is, it's like they've changed the ball. They've kind of moved the goalpost a little bit, where it's like, oh, we're gonna show you that you have to accept this. You can't just say, nah, that's not my thing. People feel very uncomfortable because they want to like introduce this thing called inclusion. Inclusion for who?
Yeah, bro.
Or diversity for who?
You're touching on something there.
Because you don't believe in inclusion, because
You don't
by
believe
including this narrative,
Everyone
you're
else out.
excluding a load of people who don't believe in that or don't agree with it. It's not to say they're going to try and kill them or, you know, hate and all this stuff. It's just, that's not our thing. So we don't want to learn about that. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're allowed to say that.
But my thing is, children, it's the children. They're always the easiest target because their minds are like sponges. They're going to take what they've been told by adults as the gospel until they're old enough or their brain is in a position to allow them to think differently and to challenge it. Generally, that takes them up to a certain average age. Yeah. Or depending on how the parents have raised them, how much they are allowed to explore things. Now, for me, as I said, in relation to the video, the teacher, first of all, has no rights to turn around and say something as, in my opinion, stupid as we are not going to refer to them as. I don't know where, when, who, how this MAPS term came along, but paedophilia is paedophilia. Yeah? And my thing is, okay, cool. She wants to, like, if we were going to sit down and have a one-to-one with this same woman, if she has got children, are you honestly, with your heart open, sincerely and genuinely going to say to me, if you have a child that is 5 years or under and a grown-ass man says, oh, I like your daughter, or I like your son, let me just poke it in.
What?
Right, now that's your response.
I didn't think that you
No, but the point is, this is what I'm saying, it's not about pussyfooting around or treading lightly. Let's be real. If he came up and said to her, I want to just poke it in, she's really cute, I like her, can I just have sex with your child? Can I sleep with her? Or, oh yeah, do you honestly think, unless she's in that realm, do you honestly think anyone in their rightful mind is just going to be like, oh yeah, it's fine, I know you're attracted to her, go ahead. What? My child, first of all, it's a child. Second of all, you want to destroy my child's body and mind, because it's not just a physical thing that happens, it's psychological.
Only
it's
the devil
emotional.
wants to mess with children, really. That's how
Right. No, but the point is, it messes like that. That child is going to live with that forever. Yeah? They may get to points where they can deal with their trauma and move on, but that is going to be there for, you can't undo that. So how can you think it's all right to then teach, other young people, oh yeah, this is fine, this is normal, we shouldn't judge them.
I'll tell you why, though, T. Let me just add this. I'll tell you why. And it goes back to conversations that we have, right? And it kind of slips into something else. How much of us can say that we fully know what we know, stand on what we say, and tell it how it is in all circumstances? My thing is this: when I look outside, I don't see people talking how the ancestors spoke back then about truth, about stuff that is really affecting us. We know what it was like to be children.
Yeah.
So what my thing is that, you know, we don't even stand on truth. We won't even, like, we would much rather take opportunity over truth. We put opportunity over what's right. We would rather take the opportunity rather than speaking up for what's actually right. Our automatic setting is to be compliant with what these madmen want. We've been mind-fucked into accepting things as they are, when things as they are is making shit 10 times worse. So when we actually speak about stuff like this, it's like, hold on, we can't even really, like, we can't even say it for what it is. Like, we can't even say, yo, do you know what? I'm gonna stand here and openly say, fuck what you stand for. Oh, because now we're in the space of, well, we're all human and they can do what they do as long as they do it over there. How about, no, fuck that, that's wrong. How about fighting for, dying for what is right, living for what is right over what is wrong? We're not that way inclined.
I think a lot of people are fearful of being silenced.
Of course, but guess what? Us being silent don't help either.
No, of course, it gets us killed faster.
So when it comes to something like this, how about a lot of us have aided and abetted our oppressors to get into this point? We've okayed it with our silence. We have accepted many things that came in the package of something else when really it was something else. If you knew what the enemy was on, you would know. He don't tell you exactly what it is. He will backdoor it.
I was literally took the words out of my mouth. I was about to home in, and I think for some people, not everyone, you've got some that might be fearful of being silenced or worried about the repercussions on themselves if others don't stand with them. Because there is that notion with some people, it's like, I'm willing to do it, but I know me alone, I can't. Because if they take me down, we still haven't gained, you know, like, you can go on all right, at least if I die, I've died and something came with it. The problem is, if you haven't got any backing, when you die, you just die. There's nothing, oh no, we've lost another one, but no one's then saying, no, you know what, they died for this reason, let me now, and everyone else saying, actually, no, we need to step up because they died trying to fight for this. If you haven't got that, you have to question, is it even worth doing it because I'm dying for the sake of dying? But on the flip side, a lot of what's happening, there are certain things that we can see, even if it's going through the back door. You've got your security on the back door and it's just, did they slip? But there are still certain things where they're not even coming through back doors. They're coming through like the dungeons, the little trap doors that we didn't even know existed. And then all of a sudden, they're just in the room and you're like, well,
in the room.
What the hell?
In the room.
I'm talking about the ones that we didn't realise was under the carpet and someone's
the hair sitting beside you.
And they've lifted up the flap or they've come through the attic and next minute you went to get a drink and you come back and there's 25 people in your living room sitting comfortable. Like, you're like,
100%.
How did you get in here?
Right.
No, but it is.
And this is the position that we put ourselves in, like literally.
And in our heads, we thought our house was secure.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Because we've said, no, this is what we do here. This is not what we do here.
Yeah.
So that when you come back, you're overwhelmed with, hold on, if I locked up everywhere and everyone in-house knows how we deal with things, how have we been infiltrated? But what the problem is, if you're infiltrated and outnumbered, it still causes a problem.
And you can be infiltrated, especially if your whole thing is about being accepted. And we crave to be accepted by the ones that are killing us.